Hello and welcome to Arts 24's weekly music show on France 24. I'm Jennifer Ben Brahim. Coming up on today's show. Norwegian-American artist OK Kaya juxtaposes her sweet vocal melodies with her unfiltered take on the human experience. Now she's back in Paris to perform at this year's Pitchfork Festival and recently released her latest musical offering, a complex study of the power of isolation and storytelling. And I'm also joined by Ziad Al Samman, who is on track to becoming everyone's favourite Habibi music maker. The Syrian-British singer is set to drop his new EP, a blend of psychedelic disco pop with a sprinkling of nostalgia. Now, OK Kaya and Ziyad, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jennifer.
Now, before we delve into your unique musical universes, we have to talk about the tragic passing of a giant of the music industry. Legendary musician and producer Quincy Jones has died, aged 91. Now, his career spanned over 75 years with 28 Grammy Award wins. Now, Jones worked with some of the greats, from Frank Sinatra to producing arguably one of the greatest albums of all time, Michael Jackson's Thriller. He was even named by Time magazine as one of the most influential jazz musicians of the 21st century. Now, OK Kaya and Ziad Al Samman, what was his legacy? What did he mean to you, Quincy Jones? Ladies first.
To me, he means that it's possible to even have a legacy that can span so long. I think he, regardless of genre or who he was working with, you can kind of hear his production and everything and his touch. And he seemed to be a really graceful person.
That's true. And what about you, Ziad?
Yeah, an absolute titan. 28 Grammy Awards.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, not too shabby at all, yeah. I thought it'd be a few more, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he lived a little longer. I mean, yeah, he's great. His work with Michael Jackson was incredible, and Frank Sinatra. Very influential. You could tell there was a lot of love going into everything he touched, and yeah.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Yeah, very inspirational for artists. And of course, we'll be bringing you all the reactions and updates on France 24. Now, back to the new music from both of you. OK Kaya, you just dropped your fourth album called Oh My God, That's So Me. Now, that's a saying that I think all of us know, we've all heard at some point in our lives. Am I right in believing this is a sort of reference to this meme culture we're living in?
Certainly. Yeah, that's... well, it came out of the song I think it's the last track on the album, called The Art of Poetry, where I was imagining the first poet on Earth pointing at the moon and saying, "Oh my God, that's so me." So yeah, that made me giggle to kind of juxtapose this like heavy-handed what is poetry and just like this sentence that's basically crystallizes this thing within basically 6 words.
Yeah, and what's your relationship with social media? Is it something that you use with your music, or something that you're a bit fearful of?
I think I use social media less and less.
Okay.
But it's obviously something that I use to reach out to people listening and when I'm on tour and stuff. But I think, yeah, I'm not as much of a meme head as I was in my younger years.
Yeah. What about you, Ziad? I read that you had kind of a love-hate relationship with social media.
Oh,
Is that
yes.
right? Oh.
It still exists. I mean, overall, I mean, we're so lucky to have it. It's a free source to reach new people. But it can be a struggle. Knowing what to post and how to, interact with, get to people. But it's a love-hate.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Now, back to your new album. We're listening to one of the tracks off the album. This is The Croak.
She calls by a mountain looking like a hill. She storms through the valley, you begin to get chills. She's not an omen, she's not a woman, she's dark ecology.
So that was Vigroke from OK Kaya's latest album. Now, this is a perfect example of how you found inspiration from certain fictional tales on this record, another being the song My Berenice, which is an ode to Edgar Allan Poe. Who is Vigroke, and why did you want to tell these stories through the album?
The Groke is a fictional character in Tove Jansson's Moomin universe, and growing up she was the most terrifying being I'd ever seen. But when I was living on, I wrote the record living on an island in winter, and the weather was so crazy. I think there was snow up to here, and I started thinking about her again because she would always come in winter in the Moomin universe, and I started feeling sorry for her because she's this sort of personification of loneliness and cold and dark. But she's always, I feel like when the winter comes, she's always there somewhere, knocking on doors, begging to be let in.
Well, so nature is very kind of featured on this album, and as you just mentioned, you produced this album on the island, or wrote this album. Why the choice to go there? I heard that it was only accessible by boat. Is that right?
Yeah.
How did that help with the production? Was it a bit complicated getting people to come and work on the album?
Yeah, I mean, mostly it was done in the basement of the house, and I think it's a great place to make a record because there's lots of time. Oh, there she is. And with my last record, SAP, I was able to work with a lot of people, in the studio, but my friend Francisca Agner and Clementine Brown sent strings on, like, you can always send stems, and that's the great thing about, the internet and stuff like that. So it wasn't that lonely, and I got a lot of help.
Okay, good. So very tranquil, peaceful environment, kind of similar to your childhood in Norway.
Yeah.
Now, Ziad, you're also quite influenced by your childhood. You grew up in Jordan. How did those early years influence your sound?
Well, yeah, living in Jordan, obviously, a lot of Arabic music around the house. My dad's actually Syrian, and yeah, we moved to Jordan when I was around 9 years old. And yeah, a song comes to mind, Amr Diab. It's called Noor Al-Ain.
Great song.
Which came out, I believe, in like 96. And it was just everywhere. It was a mega hit, I'm sure, here in France as well. And yeah, it hit me. Yeah, it just like, what is this? This is just very charming, and yeah, kind of got me excited and moving, and yeah, got me excited thinking about making music, and yeah.
We can hear some of that sound behind
you
us
will.
now.
You can hear it come through, yes.
And that's on your upcoming debut EP called Pleasure Complex. We can listen to one of the tracks. This is the incredible Bang. So that was the very funky Bang, very groovy. Now, Ziad, I love all the visuals, your aesthetic. I feel like we're time traveling back to the late 70s, early 80s. Who are the kind of artists of that generation, that era, who've influenced your sound, would you say?
I mean, definitely Prince comes through. Definitely even Thin Lizzy. Yeah, ELO. The Beatles, Paul McCartney, things like this. Yeah, a lot of influences in that era.
Now, what can we expect on this EP that's out this week? Can you give us any teasers?
Any teasers? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Habibi is like the biggest single. It's like my kind of little hit. I think I can't wait to get it out. I've had it around for like two years now. I wrote it 2 years ago, wow. So I'm so excited to finally get it out this Friday. Yeah, 5 tracks of disco-infused pop. Yeah.
Does it feel like a bit of a release to kind of birth this EP into the world?
It's been a long time coming. Yeah, okay. I'm really excited just to get going. get this out in the world and see what happens. And
Okay.
yeah.
Well, definitely, I recommend everyone take a listen to this EP when it comes out. Now, before we
Please.
go, you're both playing at a festival in France. You're actually playing this week at Pitchfork in Paris, and you'll be playing in a month's time at Transmusicale de Rennes. How do you prepare for a festival? Is it different from playing at a gig of your own? Is there a different process to that?
Yeah, well, I'm playing tonight, so I've been fortunate enough to play Pitchfork quite a few times in Paris, Berlin, and London. So I feel like I kind of know how it's going to go. But it's the first time I play in a church, and
Oh yeah, that'll be very cool.
I think that would be great. I'll just prepare by crossing my fingers and hydrating.
Hydrate, very important. And what about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited for Transmusicale. I'll be bringing my full band because I usually perform solo. So I'm prepping for that. I never really
Exciting.
perform with a band. So yeah, a lot of work, but I can't wait. It's going to be magical.
Well, very good. Well, I want to thank both of you. We've come to the end of the show now. Okay, Kaya and Ziad Al Samman. Check out their new music. And before we leave, I'm going to talk to you about another album that is also out this week from Scottish rockers Primal Scream. Now, Come Ahead is their first new music in 8 years. Wow. And the title is a classic Glaswegian saying, one that sums up the city's fighting spirit, you could say. I won't say anything else on that. We'll leave you with a track ready to go home. Now, for more arts and culture, you can head to our website or follow us on social media. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.